we refer to the Recovery School District not only as a geographic location of the city of New Orleans, but a research and development enterprise. And what I mean by that is, look at the kinds of reforms that we're talking about doing here. No city in the state is talking about converting all of their high schools to the kinds of high schools that we're talking about converting them here. So we hope that we can take the lessons learned from here elsewhere to the state.
All right, we're back here at the Moton Elementary School. It's Easter Sunday, and I'm back here to videotape some of the sinkholes that we saw yesterday on the site and check them out. Given that this area is apparently considered toxic, seems unfortunate that there would be sinkholes leading into toxic ground, so I'm going to take a look.
I want you to think about your favorite school in the city. Newman, Country Day, St. Andrews, Trinity, St. George's, Dominican, Jesuit. Daytime. Right. I'm going on the same road. That may seem a little bit absurd, and I want you to think about that because I want you to think about those schools being governed by the Orange County School Board. So if that's absurd, then I want you to think about Green and 35 and the wonderful schools that we're developing in this community being governed by the Orange County School Board. That's about as absurd as my original statement.
The back of the front wall of the school, and it's a rather large hole that starts out sort of small and then gets huge. And again, it's hard to tell the scale of this from the video, but at its widest, it's probably about maybe 8 or 9 feet wide. Right here, it's probably only about 2 or 3 feet wide. And it's probably about 6 feet deep. You can see here, I think, the actual pilings of the school, or of the wall.
To use the language of closure and failure is divisive, it's painful, and it's difficult for a community to talk about. A public institution failing. And yet, realistically, that's what's been happening. We just haven't owned up to it. And so gradually we bleed schools of children and of families until nobody cares anymore.
Wow, an open door right into the building. I'm going to just stand right here. You can see, let's look down. Equipment. All those little children's chairs. The stairway upstairs to the classrooms.
We don't want to risk our high schools, the RSD becoming not the recovery school district, but the remedial school district. I mean, the bottom line is our high school population is not climbing, we need to be making our high schools attractive enough so we can retain the kids from between 8th grade and 9th grade, so that we attract kids who may have the means to go somewhere else, and so that we improve the quality of our schools for those children who don't have the options to go anywhere else.
Here's an open window, and I can't see in, but let's see if we can get a little bit of video. I wonder if this is the library. Oh yeah. Wow.
The conversation pre-Katrina largely centered around a bunch of failing schools and 7 individuals who we all pointed the finger at. And yet I believe that there was a lot of blame to go around. But now there are more of us involved in this very important effort. And so now we're sharing the responsibility. And if we fail at this, then we will share the blame. I believe that at the end of the story, and this is based on my work over all these years, if the best that we have done is our schools are better, but they continue to be economically and racially segregated, then we have not achieved the school system that I believe we can achieve. And we have not.
You can see the doors propped open. So I'm going to look inside. See what I can see. Wow. It's just rows of chairs. Totally open, and yet nobody's touched them in 2 years. Gosh. Think about all the graduations and recitals that must have happened in here. You can still see some of the little decorations on the wall.
It is unconscionable for us. We don't even think that public schools and excellence can go together. Because for decades, those with the means have bought their way out. And ultimately, I think, if folks with means, middle, upper class folks, don't start making bets with their own children on this system, we're doomed. And I say that with a 2.5-year-old, and I'll say it to you on the record, my child will go to an open enrollment public school. Hold me accountable for that in 3 years. I get to cheat because I get to help people start these schools. But you need to know that that's what drives me. I'm going to make damn sure that in 3 years there is a child for Marion, there's a school for Marion to go to. And I think we need to own up to the fact that for too long as a community, we have been okay with the fact that the public school is for someone else's kids. And we'll take care of our own kids first and let someone else deal with that. We have got to own up to that.